Hello and welcome to Alleviate Dry Eye, where you can learn to take care of your eyes like it's the only pair you'll ever have. I'm your host, Dr. Pam Terrio. I know we're doing things a little bit differently today. I wanted to go ahead and give you some great information that you could use this time of year. And I had some PowerPoint slides made up for this topic already. So I thought I would just share the slides with you. And since there's not a lot of visual things for me to show you anyway, I think the slides will be a little bit more interesting. So bear with me. Today, we're talking about how to keep your dry eyes happy during the driest season of the year, which is winter. So when you're spending your winter days indoors, what are the two things that you can do to help your eyes feel more moist? Well, first, you can adjust the quality of the indoor air to hydrate and heal your eyes. And then we'll talk about keeping the temperatures comfortable without drying your eyes out, and a couple of tips and tricks for you to do just that. So here we go. Winter, I like to call it dry eye season. Outdoors, the air is dry, the temperature is cold to freezing. Generally, there's not a lot of humidity. It could be windy, the days are short, and there's less sunlight. Inside, it's dry, hot, artificial heat, fire, smoke, candle, scents. So all the things that can really irritate our eyes when we spend too much time in these dry environments. In general, with the busyness of the holidays, we're not making sleep a priority. So sometimes our health suffers this time of year. We're more likely to get sick this time of year. We pack more responsibilities into one day as we gear up towards the end of the year, and then getting into the new year, I found that there's just a ton of responsibilities to get things going in the new year as well. So it really hasn't slowed down. So sometimes you're not getting enough sleep. In order to get it all done, you're trading your sleep for the activities. Now, especially during the holidays, our diet might be off. We're drinking more caffeine because we're spending more time being awake, or drinking more alcohol because there's more opportunities to do so. Of course, there's more sugar and more foods in general, and maybe even foods that you're not used to eating. And these can cause problems with our dry eyes. If you're going to a lot of events, you may even be wearing your contact lenses longer than you normally would have. And of course, these events mean we're getting dressed up and we're wearing eye makeup. And maybe we're wearing some eye makeup that's not part of our normal routine. Lots of reasons to have dry eyes this season. So when we're indoors, we can really enhance the environment that we're in by adding a humidifier. Whether you use a warm mist or a cool mist humidifier, they will put moisture into the air. And the temperature of the air is the same by the time it reaches your lungs. So it's not that important whether you're using a warm mist or a cool mist humidifier, as long as you're getting the moisture into the air. It's a little bit easier to use a warm mist humidifier because the heat kills the bacteria that might otherwise accumulate in the sitting water. So it's less of an effort to keep it clean, and maybe a bit easier to use in the wintertime because you want the warmth as well. If you're using a cool mist humidifier, there's some benefits to this one for sure. It's a bit more quiet and it's safer to use when you have kids running around that might tump it over and burn themselves. But either way, it's great to place the humidifier in the area that you're spending the most time. So in the bedroom while you're sleeping, and then in the daytime, the living room or the office. They also make desktop-sized humidifiers that you can just place next to your desk and feel that comfortable moisture around your eyes all day long while you work. Now, the other thing to consider is the quality of the air. Since we're spending a bit more time indoors, you want to make sure that you have a filter in your home or office that is removing particles, dirt, dust, debris. You might want to consider getting a high efficiency particulate absorbing filter or an air purifier. These are going to remove allergens, smoke, mold, odors, dust, and germs. And while you're spending this more time indoors, go ahead and vacuum or dust regularly to remove those from the air. And just a note about candles, that sometimes the scented candles and the smoke from the candles could be irritating to your eyes as well. Of course, we may be also using extra heaters. I know in my office at work, I have a small heater that I like to put at my feet in the wintertime to keep my office a little bit warmer, and that sure does dry my eyes out. I have to be very conscientious about making sure that that warm air, although it feels so great, is not blowing up towards my eyes. And we did talk a lot about fireplaces a couple of weeks ago. I love a good fire in the wintertime, but that smoke can be super irritating, and it might not irritate you in the moment, but you could notice that your eyes will be extra red, scratchy, dry, and irritated for several days after being in contact with a fireplace. So limit the amount of time you spend in a smoky area. You can rinse your eyes out immediately after being near a fireplace. And then, of course, try to turn your face away from smoke blowing directly into it. All righty. And then the self-care we'll talk about on another episode. So thanks again for joining me today. There's a couple of top tips of how to keep your eyes moist this dry season of the year. If you want more information, you can also see my website at www.pamterrio.com. And remember, when we take care of our eyes today, our vision lasts us a lifetime. Thanks again.